Hello everyone, today in this video we will fight against the advanced character of our world around us, and this time we will discuss one issue that recently uh, is getting intensified more and more people are asking themselves question, why is it happening like this? I mean, the issue I'd like to refer to today is immigration, legal or illegal in this discussion, it doesn't matter. Why it's getting intensified. And the reason is very simple. Of course, there is old saying in many languages that tells us if someone doesn't know what's all about, it's all about money. This was happening. And of course, we have to look also at the demographic changes not only in the Western world, in particular Western Europe or Japan or South Korea, but we also need to look at the demographic changes of Deep South. So, like Africa, Southeast Asia, some places of South America, but especially Africa is central for our current considerations. There are countries with huge populations, like Nigeria, uh, about 180 million or maybe even 200 now, no one knows. Like Zaire, almost 200, something like this, 100, sorry, and many others. So these countries actually, and many others with smaller populations but also quickly growing, have the huge factions of their own populations of people who, this way or the other, manage to earn or to get quite a big chunk of money. And these people sometimes, because recently former Chancellor of Germany, she said herzlich willkommen for, so cordially welcome for all newcomers, and Germany was taking them, feeding them. Now they want to distribute them among other European nations by force. Some of them agree, some of them don't. But we see that now also Russia, Belarus, and China is trying to use this immigration pressure on the Western European countries to force them to make some decisions. That's why they are even bringing from the Middle East or from Africa with their own airlines like Belarusian Airlines. They are bringing people to Europe to push them through the borders into the European Union. So we see that there is an official travel agency also for them using this demographic pressure that Deep South is also experiencing. And of course, if these people, I mean, on the Deep South, have some money, and when they know that Europe is feeding them only because they came to them, so many of them just come to these conclusions that, hey, why should we work or take care of our incomes here if we can go to Europe and just be served and be given everything we need to live? So they pay to some smugglers already. Many gangs and mafias are already formed, and they are making big money, big profits out of this illegal activity of smuggling people. And of course, they are bribing politicians, including African and European politicians. That's why this process of mass immigration, illegal especially, is growing in recent decades because it's really profitable business, and these mafia groups and current governments do not want to resign from it because they have a huge profit out of it. And stupid European countries, especially Western Europeans, are offering social welfare to these people because they got caught within their own loop of ideological madhouse. But no one cares what will happen in the future because nowadays people who earn from this illegal immigration and smuggling of these people are only taking care of their profits. As long as it's profitable, they will do it. This is one of the main reasons. And another reason, of course, is that socialists who are now ruling in almost all European countries are pushing for such idea that if we mix everybody, make a great mix of populations, people will lose their identity and they will tell, okay, so now we choose socialism, we are no longer whites, no longer black, no longer Polish, no longer Jewish, no longer whoever, we are socialist and we created a new human. Of course, it's a naive, stupid thinking of dumb ideological people, because we know how these things end. It will end like all Balkanization processes. So the case of former Yugoslavia in 1992 saw bloody civil war, but on a large scale, almost on the full European continent. If we don't stop, we will reach this point that we will repeat experience of former Yugoslavia on a large scale. But now we know what are the two main reasons why in recent decades illegal immigration especially increased in case of Western countries, and why also legal immigration of workers increases. It's simple, because many of Western Europeans do not want to work, they are just beneficiaries of the system, they are sitting in offices, in corporations, so there is silent agreement between government. We pay you what we pay you, but you don't have to work, you sit behind the desk, but vote for us. But we know that in Western Europe still we have a lot of huge industries, so these companies are really squealing for cheaper labor force, so they are pressing also governments for giving the official permissions for foreign workers from all over the world to come to these countries and work in their factories. And now we see that recently what I mentioned, new Prime Ministress of Italy had to break her own promise she made during recent elections she won, that she would limit the immigration. Of course, she granted for the next 2 years from now over 500,000 of legal permissions for work for the workers from all around the world, because Italians who are sitting in the offices or in the corporations, of course, they do not want to work manually, so they are the beneficiaries of the system, they vote for the parties, but government needs people to work, so that's why. In contrast to this, what the Prime Minister was promising, they will still import people legally and illegally. So as long as these huge groups of people in Europe and in Africa and in all other places will earn on this pathological process, this huge illegal immigration, that it's not explicable when we look at the current situation, if it's that it's not explicable in the way different than this one, what I said, that this is huge corruption of many people and huge business for politicians and smuggling mafias. As long as it's profitable, it will happen, unless some governments will be strong enough to stop it. But as of now, I do not see the symptoms of these things to come. All the best, have a nice day, bye.